Good afternoon and welcome on campus. Stanford University are seen for first round action here at the NCAA Men's Water Polo Championship. Greg Meskel joining you on a beautiful Friday here at the Avery Aquatic Center as we get set for the first of four. Leading things off, the 1 seed UCLA, 23-2 on the year, and a history-making event right out of the gate as Salem from West Virginia makes their debut in the NCAA tourney. Here's a look at our bracket. So UCLA Salem up first. Then the host, Stanford, into the pool against Princeton. From there, USC and California Baptist. And we close things out with Fordham and Long Beach State. Should be a great day of water polo. We'll have it for you right here on NCAA.com throughout. And we open with the Bruins, certainly one of the favorites for the championship. They'll take on a Salem squad journeying to the title tourney for the first time after winning the WWPA. We look in at the UCLA Bruins. They're 23-2 on the year, 5-1 in the MPSF during the regular year. Only 2 losses, lost to Stanford and then lost to USC in the MPSF championship final, 15-13. Head coach Adam Wright in his 16th season said it's all about their defense. If they're playing defense, if that shows up, then they can be a difficult team to deal with. It's what they want to get back to coming into this weekend as they prepare for their first ever meeting with Salem University. For Salem, 20-3, 4-0 in the WWPA. They knocked off Concordia 16-12. Prior to that, they defeated defending WWPA champ Biola 19-18. In the semifinals, and that went over Concordia. A little redemption there for Salem as they were eliminated in last year's conference tourney by Concordia. Robert Bullion in his 13th season leading this Salem squad. They have built this thing from the ground up from quite literally no wins in the first year for Bullion to 1 win the next year to now 20, and their first ever trip to the NCAA championship tourney from Salem, West Virginia. If you're not familiar, about an hour and 45 minutes away from Pittsburgh. The only varsity program in the state. And a lot of excitement on campus and at the school for this team making their NCAA championship debut. They have a difficult challenge ahead, one they are well aware of, going up against a juggernaut like UCLA. As we get set to start this one, for Salem, we'll likely see 2 goalies throughout the day. To start, Gonzalo Silva in the field. Ivan Zivahinovic. Joining him, his brother, Marko Zivahinovic. Nikola Krstanisic, the conference player of the year. Ivan Petkovsky, Marko Jovanovic, and Danko Kesic. You may have noticed a theme there. Serbia well represented on this squad. 8 from the water polo powerhouse on this Salem roster as we go right inside, and UCLA wastes no time delivering as Peter Castillo, one of the bright young freshmen in the college game, is able to hit. Here's a look at the lineup for UCLA and Adam Wright. Garrett Griggs goes in cage, although Nate Tauscher has gotten some opportunities late in the year. Federico Carcelade, Wade Sherlock, Aaron Vogenthaler, the UC Davis transfer. We mentioned Castillo, Makoto Kenny, and then Ryder Dodd, who is having a downright ridiculous freshman season, the Olympic bronze medalist, with 90 goals in this first season as Griggs the takeaway. And we'll see the Bruins back on offense. Officials in this one, Peter Sofabamixe and Val Vasilchikov. As now here's Kenny controlling. Opening stages here, first quarter, first of 4 quarterfinals, and a little rinse and repeat. They go back into Castillo, and he's got a couple of quick ones here. Now 29 goals on the year for Peter Castillo, and a 2-0 start for UCLA. So we'll see if Salem can try to manufacture some offense here. Salem coming in tied for 20th in the national rankings against UCLA, tied for first. A logjam there at the top of the national rankings with UCLA, USC, and Fordham all tied for first coming into this championship weekend. Outside attempt, bar out there on the try from Marko Zivahinovic, the junior. He's had a lot of offense this year, 98 goals coming in. Is now in transition, Vogenthaler. They'll push ahead now. Here's Wade Sherlock. Kenny, and now Dodd. Carcelade gives off to Vogenthaler. Bruins patient on the attack here. Shot clock to 10. And we'll see an exclusion. And our first power play in this one. And the Bruins will have the extra man advantage with 6:20 to play. And Dodd field blocked. Nice denial there out high. Krstanisic turning away that Dodd attempt. Still on the advantage for the moment. Bruins work along 2 meters, slipping inside, and easy money on the far post. It's Peter Castillo. He's got a quick hat trick in the first 2 minutes, not even. That's some high efficiency there from Peter Castillo. Adds his 30th goal as he works free on the post. Good look there at the pass over the top. And the Bruins off to the quick start here as they pull in front 3-0. Antonio Sablic now, a sophomore from Croatia. Pressure here by UCLA. They double the ball. And now Sablic can work a little bit. Looking inside, backhand, and just off the mark. Nice idea there by Salem and Marko Zivahinovic to try and go quickly before the defense can arrive. Just off target. In transition now, Chase Dodd has come on, brother of Ryder Dodd. Changes for UCLA, Ben Lathy now. Left-hander handling. Ordinary called. Dodd along 2 meters. Little pass over the top. Tipped, and then a takeaway. Gray Carson coming over for that ball that was intended for the 2-meter area, slipped away. And then Salem able to regain possession. And now they'll move it into the front court here with Ivan Petkovsky. Petkovsky tries to quickly fire near corner. And that was deflected and then denied by Griggs. Looked as if Nico Tierney might have gotten a piece of that ball on the way through as well. And now Tierney in transition. Ordinary called. Opportunity here for Lathy if he wanted it. Instead goes to Chase Dodd along 2 meters. Dodd takes a look, goes to the post, a little bobble, difficult handle, and Jack Larson caught that in traffic on the near post. Regathered and put it away for his 16th. And we'll get a timeout called by Coach Bouillon. Again, the Bruins aggressive, working along 2 meters, really looking for those post passes. And a little bobble there. How about the control from Larson, able to regather, keep that ball in bounds, and then put it home for a quick 4-0 lead here for UCLA. So this is exactly what the Bruins wanted to do. Take early control of this match. They put themselves in this position, being the 1 seed, to have, in theory, what would be the path of least resistance into the semifinals. And you can be sure Adam Wright and his group want to get out to a quick lead, use their entire 16-man roster in this, and then aim to prepare for a semifinal. .453 to play in the first quarter. So we look over at Salem. And again, they knew this would be difficult, but they were so thrilled to win the conference. Said they've earned the right to be here, even though it would be a challenging game against UCLA. The group of seniors on this team that have battled through all kinds of adversity. Guys that hung around through COVID, came back, continued to play. You go back to that 2020, 2021 time period, and Salem struggled to find people to play against. It was hard for everyone to put schedules together. Stuck with it, kept building through the WWPA and breaking through now here in 2024. Reaching this NCAA championship tournament. The last 8 teams still playing for the NCAA championship. Of course, the Division III championship also getting underway tomorrow. That's at University of Redlands. So still some college water polo going on throughout the state of California. But the battle here for the NCAA crown down to these 8. Out of the timeout now from Salem, under 5 to play in the first quarter. That pass is deflected. That's Ryder Dodd just batting away that entry, and they'll work it back to Garrett Griggs, the graduate student from Riverside Poly High School. And now Carcelade. Carcelade sees a lane. He'll move in. Now work it back to Kenny. Kenny to Dodd. A little high, but Carcelade goes and gets it. Shot clock to 8. Pours that in. Traffic and a takeaway. Krstanisic comes up with that ball as they were aiming to get Eli Lathy in the mix on the interior. And now here comes Petkovsky. Petkovsky moving over here to Sablich. Just about halfway through this opening quarter, Peter Castillo set the tempo early. 3 quick goals, 4-0 lead now for UCLA. A scramble, some whitewater, and a takeaway as Lathy and Griggs are there. Griggs directing traffic, pushes ahead to Carcelade. They've got a man advantage. Salem will send Kesic back the other way. Meanwhile, Carcelade walks it in. Over to Kenny as the Bruins send Eli Lathy back. So now 5-on-5 here. And then they turn it over. Bruins don't get that ball live after the ordinary in time, and they give it back to Salem. So Salem hoping to create a little confusion. It works, and they get the ball back. And now going to slow things down, and you see Nikola Krstanisic telling his group to get down the other way, set things up, and now he will gradually bring the ball floating on it there for a moment into the front court to now set things up, give his team a chance to catch their breath and maybe get a shot off here with the shot clock winding down. They may have been a little too deliberate there and just use that possession to refocus a bit. A little heavy on the perimeter foul, an exclusion against Marko Zivohinovic. Bruins on the power play, initial shot deflected. And the rebound controlled. Long rebound eventually came out to Salem and gathered up there by Kesic. So UCLA can't convert on their second power play. 2:40 to go in the first quarter. 4-0 lead UCLA. Here's Marko Zivohinovic out of the corner. Salem also bringing on Petkovsky as he is joining the front court now. Shot clock to 7. A save there by Griggs on the outside attempt. Garrett Griggs batting that one down with 2:17 to play in this first quarter. Griggs now moving ahead to Carcelade. Goes in, turn and fire. Nice save there. Silva bats it away. The senior from Lisbon, Portugal. Reset for the Bruins. Again, looking for the post. Just off the mark there for Dodd. And the takeaway now for Salem. Can they turn a turnover into some offense? Petkovsky with under 2 to play in the opening quarter. Moves in front now to Krstanisic. Bruins will drop off for the moment. Shot clock to 12. Ordinary. It'll stay with Krstanisic. And now, away from the ball, an exclusion will be called against UCLA. Salem will get their first 6-on-5. Here's Krstanisic. Goes out high, now along 2 meters, under 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. Back to the lefty. Takes a look, tries to tuck it in near post, and it's field blocked away. The Bruin man-down defense holding. Salem can't convert there. Now 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Carcelade. Little high on the dish from Dodd. He'll hunt that ball down. Shot clock to 11. A few fakes. Back out to Dodd. Now Sherlock. running out of time on this possession with 2, goes over the top, and last second look is controlled by Silva. Makes another save there on the Ben Larson attempt. He didn't get a super clean grasp of that ball to try and put it on cage, and Silva was able to knock that ball down and keep things at 4-0. 34 seconds left, first quarter. Salem controlling from the outside. Fake there for Kostanisic. Has the ordinary up on his legs and has that field blocked. Again, the Bruins perimeter defense ready. They get the ball back. Adam Wright will call for time with 19 seconds left in this first quarter. And perhaps a chance for the Bruins to work on some end of quarter action. UCLA a season ago, 26-3. They went 6-0 in MPSF play and then fell to Cal in the NCAA final. We're short of a new champ this year as the Bears did not qualify after winning 3 straight NCAA championships. Bruins last won their NCAA title in 2020. That was the season that was played in early 21 following COVID. So we look in at Salem. A 4-0 deficit they're facing right now. So 4-0 lead for UCLA. Looks like we'll see a little 7-on-6 here. Opportunity for the Bruins to work on an end-of-quarter scenario. It'll be Ryder Dodd in the goalie cap. Good chance to practice something they might need later on this weekend. See Makoto Kenny there in your picture. He sometimes wears the goalie cap as well for UCLA. So 7-on-6. Dodd in the goalie cap. Again, shot clock is off. Last 10 seconds. Bruins working on a 7-on-6 look. Empty cage. Dodd, Carcelade with 4. With 3, they got to go. The dish with 1, and it works to perfection at the horn. Jack Larson delivers his second of the quarter, and a 5-0 opening for UCLA. So business as usual for the Bruins. They waited out the Salem defense, ran it all the way down with the empty net. And using that 7-on-6 to perfection, they find Larson, who finds the cage. That's all for our opening 8 minutes. We will take a timeout and come back with more. NCAA championship action continues on NCAA.com. Second quarter on the way here at Stanford. 5-0. UCLA in charge early. Peter Castillo, the freshman out of Newport Harbor High School. Adam Wright raving about what he's done in his freshman season. Said he's providing a lot. Just 3 months in. Young kid and delivering in the middle of the pool in front of the goal. 3 scores to start. And after that, Jack Larson, the graduate student out of Camp Lindo High School. He added a couple. And just that fast, it's a 5-0 start. Looks as if we have a goalie change now for UCLA. So Nate Tauscher has come on, the redshirt freshman out of Mater Dei and Sunset Beach. So Griggs will take a seat. We'll see if Tauscher goes the rest of the way or they alternate quarters. Again, a good opportunity in all likelihood for the Bruins to get a lot of their roster involved. Tough choices for UCLA to get down to 16. They battled injuries throughout a lot of the year. Chase Stott, turn and fire. That's off the mark for Vogenthaler. And the rebound there for Salem. UCLA took all the way until their conference matchup with USC. That was late in the year before they had their entire roster healthy. And then, of course, you get to the postseason, you have everyone available. You can only bring 16. So tough choices there. Noah Rowe, Bodie Brinkema, who both played critical minutes during the year, especially when injuries arose. Just on the bubble there for the roster. Able to be here to sit on the bench, but unable to cap up. One of the toughest parts for coaches when it comes to the postseason, getting that roster down to a travel group. Entry inside, double team, and they'll call a penalty. So the Bruins again working for Jack Larson inside 2 meters, and penalty called there against Salem. Petkovsky, the guilty party, and we'll see our first 5-meter. It'll be Nico Tierney. And he drills that shot. Nico Tierney now with 36 goals, the second leading scorer behind Dodd's 90 on this team. So Nico Tierney, a transfer from Pepperdine. This UCLA team, they picked up a couple of veteran transfers to come into the season. Pepperdine and then Vogenthaler from UC Davis. These were guys that played major roles on their prior teams, and then they've been able to really add a nice piece to this roster. As a scramble for the ball here, the initial look just off the mark. Tauscher in a race for that ball. He comes up with it. And the Bruins, they stay in the lead 6-0 with 6:23 to go in this first half. First of 4 quarterfinals on the day. Cruise into the cage, and we'll see another penalty. It's more Peter Castillo. He has been busy early in this one. Krstanisic called for the 5-meter. So Castillo draws the penalty. And now stepping up will be Chase Dodd. And he's good to go. Brings it back near side. So back-to-back penalties for UCLA. Make it 7-0 now with 6:10 to play. Second quarter. Chase Dodd redshirting last year to train for the Paris Olympics. That paid off. Jason Reiner helped Team USA get back on the podium for the first time since 2008, winning bronze in Paris. He'll sub out. And now it'll come back to Salem, still searching for that first goal. The Salem team, Coach Rob Bullion telling us during the week, played outdoors for the first time in their conference championship at the World Aquatic Center in Irvine. Said it took their goalies a minute to get adjusted to the outdoor pools. So now weekend 2. Looks as if we'll have to get a sub here for Salem, as Nikola Krstanisic has a bloody nose. He'll have to be tended to by the training staff, so he's immediately subbed out there in place of Antonio Sablich. Didn't see the initial contact there for Krstanisic. Phil Block to follow as we resume live play. Salem training staff there to help Krstanisic, the senior from Bece, Serbia. Leads this team on offense. Co-WWPA Player of the Year. Tournament first team selection. Big stop. Silva denying Dodd. Not many have been able to do that this year. And Gonzalo Silva bats that shot away. Reset here. And they'll push it out to Kenny. Exclusion. And we'll go against Sablich. Power play now for the Bruins. 5:10 to play, first half. Carcelade, now Kenny. Waving that ball around, gives off to Dodd. He's knocked down there. Sherlock. Offensive, that's off the ball. Gray Carson on the near post. So the Bruins don't get a shot away there on the extra man. Now 1 for 3. In transition, Salem is on the board with their first NCAA tourney goal. It's Ivan Zivohinovic, his 53rd on the year. The captain connects. Beautiful dish on the turnover. And credit Salem. Big smile there as they turn what was a man-down situation into a turnover, into a counter, and then into a score. And they're on the board. 4:41 to go, first half, as Salem takes the lid off the cage. They trail now 7-1 on the Zivohinovic connect. Now Kenny inside, that's batted away, an exclusion. Bruins have been tough to stop here inside of 2 meters, drawing exclusions, drawing penalties. They draw another power play here. That's Marko Jovanovic going off on the post and in for the slam. They have been wearing out these posts. Scored it there for Marcel Cici, the sophomore from Budapest. And the power play for the Bruins as they go in front 8-1 with 4:22 to play. These are tough to stop. On the power play, really angling for those post opportunities, getting inside the defense. And this is just the skill, the strength of these Bruins on the interior. Make it 8-1. As here's Zivohinovic. Little backdoor drive, a missed connection there. Salem zigging when they should have zagged, and a takeaway from Tauscher. Pressure now. James Fenner has come on, the junior from Stockton, California. And then an exclusion. They went inside. Ivan Zivohinovic there giving the foul. And a power play now for UCLA. Fifth power play try here for UCLA. Patient look, Chase Dodd. He'll walk that into 6 meters. The give and the cross cage convert is there for Nico Tierney. He's got 2, and the Bruins have their third power play delivery. Tierney from Sierra Madre, California, went to Harvard Westlake, one of the best high school programs in the game. Adam Wright couldn't say enough about the leadership he's brought. Said he wants to be a coach whenever he's done playing. They needed a leader, a guy that could bring that guidance on defense and offense. He's been incredible. Said he's a real calming presence. So, high praise there for Tierney. With 3:12 to go in the first half and a 9-1 lead for the squad from Westwood. Timer about to expire. Defense has been suffocating here from the Bruins. And they're out of time. Wave off that shot. The officials will kindly let things play on. No exclusion there on the shot after the horn was about to sound. They'll leave one back as Danko Kesic, the freshman from Belgrade, will hang back. That will send a Bruin back, and we'll go 5-on-5. And not for long, because an offensive foul there from UCLA. That was Eli Lathy on the inside. And the give now to Salem. Bruins, by sending one back, they put Ben Larson there at free safety. That cuts off the quick counterattack chance from Salem. As we see, Nikola Krstanisic has returned. He went out with the bloody nose, seems to be okay. Salem gives up the possession there, and it's back to UCLA with 2:24 remaining in the first half. Here's Dodd. Little fake. And an exclusion. Krstanisic, he will head off. As Lathy causing problems down there for Salem at 2 meters. He lost his cap. That's the Bruin on the inside as they walk it in there. Silva with the stop. The block there by Gonzalo Silva, and then officials remarking that Lathy inside 2 meters, and they give that ball back to Salem. So a couple of stops here, man down for Salem. Some things to build on there from the squad from West Virginia. Zivohinovic works to Kesic. Field block there. Zivohinovic controlling once again, and now here's Kesic. All-tourney team pick from the WWPA Championship. Winds up, delivers into 2 meters, and a penalty's the call. Deceptive entry there from Kesic, lofting that one into Ivan Zivohinovic into 2 meters, and as he turned towards the cage, draws the penalty. Larson called, and now we'll see Marko Zivohinovic step up for the 5-meter here. At first, it looks as if they're going to send Eli Lathy on a journey to find his cap. So they're looking for that. On the other end, it has been retrieved from the bottoms of the pool here by Gonzalo Silva. So the Lathy cap recovered. He'll tie that up tight. And now we'll go the other way for the 5-meter attempt here. And skip it home. Near side low. Second goal of the day for Salem, and the first for Marko Zivohinovic, his 99th on the year. Second look there, bangs that off the post and in. A junior from Belgrade. How about the top 2 leading scorers for Salem coming in? Marko Zivohinovic, 98 goals. Nikola Krstanisic, 108. That is a ridiculous amount of offense. Speaking of ridiculous offense, here's Ryder Dodd. Pours that in, turn and fire, and Silva's there for the stop. As Castillo, who's had the hot hand, he was halted. With under a minute to play now, first half. Kesic spins off the defense. Here's the give now to Jovanovic. Kesic takes a look, facing a double. Fired quickly, and Tauscher all over it. 36 seconds left now as we wind down this first half. About a 9-second difference. A little too much on that pass. It's out of play. Recovered by Silva. And now Salem looking to counter. Shot clock is off. 22 seconds left. Backhand is off the mark because Tauscher's there to knock that down. Adam Wright will call for time. We may see a replay of how we ended the first. And now we're going to see double minor acts of misconduct. A little tangle there in the backcourt. Looked like Marko Zivohinovic and Makoto Kenny were knotted up. With 18 seconds left. So that might limit what the Bruins wanted to do. Presumably they were calling timeout to set up 7-on-6 with the personnel they had in the water. And it is confirmed against Kenny for the Bruins and Zivohinovic, Marko Zivohinovic for Salem. 18 seconds left. That would put us at 5-on-5. So we take a second look. See Coach Bouillon giving his feedback. So the save there, and then as they went to go back down pool, Kenny tied up there with Zivohinovic. Well, that wasn't the most violent exchange you ever saw, but a little pushing there and trying to get some law and order. So those two sent off, replaced, and so we will have 6-on-6. We can now go 7-on-6 for UCLA. So they'll go empty net. Dodd is back in, Ryder Dodd in the goalie cap, and UCLA can put some more work in on their 7-on-6 end of quarter scenario. Shot clock is off, just 11 seconds to play. Bruins controlling with Lathy, now Dodd. Timer to 3, to 2. It's Dodd from the outside. The field block is there for Salem. And that's how they end this second quarter. So Salem getting on the board. They've got a couple of goals. They get the field block to end that first half. Some positive moments here from the champs, from the WWPA. We pull into halftime with UCLA in front, 9-2. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here from Avery. Halftime here at Stanford. UCLA, the 1 seed, leading Salem 9-2. Bruins did the job in that first quarter. As we look back at some of the highlights from our opening 2 quarters. Early on, it was the Peter Castillo show, the freshman from Newport Harbor High School. They got him activated in front of the cage right away. Bruins really targeting their 2-meter game, working on their post play. You see here again working along 2 meters. They pass it over to the post, then swing it back to the other side. That leads to more offense. As after Castillo got cooking, Jack Larson got involved. UCLA able to draw a couple of penalties and convert there. Chase Stott able to hit on one of those. And then Salem breaking through, turning a turnover into some offense. Got their first goal, but the Bruins go back to the well on the post. Just a very measured attack here from UCLA. Salem would draw their first 5-meter and go to one of their big scorers as Divo Hinovich put that one home, and that's how we got to the break, 9-2. We'll step aside. Third quarter's up next. Second half on the way here from Avery on campus at Stanford University. UCLA leading Salem 9-2. So we saw Nate Tauscher came on after the first. He stays on in goal. And then a change for Salem, as Coach Bullion told us pregame. Gonzalo Silva going through 2 quarters. And now Duarte Costa will come on, the senior, also from Lisbon, Portugal. Coach Bullion telling a great story. Essentially, Gonzalo telling the Salem coaching staff, you got to look at this guy, Duarte. He's really, really good. And Silva had been the guy that would have started a goal. He's still gotten some time, but he thought for the benefit of the team, it'd be important to bring in a guy like Duarte. There's only one goalie to go around, right? So you're essentially recommending your replacement in some respects, but a team-first guy wanted them to have the best keeper available, and it paid off this year as we open up the second half with an immediate score from UCLA. Jack Larson hits for his third, so a rude welcome for Duarte Costa in his NCAA tourney debut, but nonetheless, the goal is there. Just gives you an idea of the way that Salem has built this squad, the selflessness of this crew. Costa picked to the WWPA tourney second team. Made 11 saves in that final at Willett in the win over Concordia. And now Salem on offense. Here's Ivan Pekovsky working to Krstanisic. Ordinary, his shot outside 6. Gathers, fires, and Tauscher is there for the stop. On the way down, we'll see a exclusion. And that is all for Nikola Krstanisic. So one of the top players on this Salem team has been given a misconduct. And then UCLA comes right back with a score. As Jack Larson adds another. So 4 now for Jack Larson, this Bruins team, with no delay. Look at the elevation there from Larson. 6'7", big guy, up out of the water. And hits. .640 to play, third quarter. Entry in, and an exclusion. Looked like it was going to be initially a steal there for Larson, but an exclusion is the call, so Larson is excluded. And now a power play here for Salem, and they make quick work of it, able to convert. It's Danko Kesic as he hits on the 6-on-5, the first power play connect for Salem. .6:15 remaining after the score there. That shot glances off the cage. The Bruins are able to recover. That's Wade Sherlock, the sophomore. New shot clock here, opening 2 minutes of this third quarter. Exclusion. So extra offense now for UCLA. Exclusion will go against Zivohinovic. Power play for the Bruins. They've got 3 conversions already on the extra man. Little bobble there from Dodd on the post. We've seen a lot of this. It's worked very, very well for UCLA. They get the dunk on the inside there. Feeding that in to Eli Lathy. Another Newport Harbor High School guy. Puts that home. Easy money in close. Make it 12-3. So Nikola Krstanisic, the conference co-player of the year, he is done. Was given the game exclusion. Frustrating afternoon for Krstanisic. We saw him leave the pool earlier with a bloody nose, so can be sure the frustration building up there. And a tough way to end this opening NCAA tourney match for the senior, who was awarded the Elite 90 honor last night at the banquet with the top GPA of 4.0 and cybersecurity. But sent off here. As we now go in transition, Salem will hang back. They'll leave Sablich. Bruins passing that ball around and then drawing the penalty as Sichi got inside. Put on the brakes and drew the 5-meter. And here is Ryder Dodd to take the penalty try. And scores that quickly. So Ryder Dodd adds to his haul this year. Goal number 91 for Dodd. Third 5-meter. Goalie just guessed the other way. And a 13-3 lead now for UCLA, with 5:07 to play, as Dodd takes a breather on the bench. Adam Wright said, "We've got a really special player when you talk about Ryder Dodd. My job is to help him grow. He needs to be a leader. He's going to get that opportunity with UCLA, and of course, as he returns to Team USA off the post and away." Wright said, "We're lucky to have him," to put it simply. As Tauscher, looking ahead, moves to Ben Larson. Larson now in transition. He'll give to Sherlock. Sherlock takes a look, Tries to go upper 90 cross cage. Costa gets a piece of that. And it's back to Salem. Moving ahead now to Fenner, and that'll be an exclusion as Fenner trying to receive that ball in transition. Carcelade there with the contact. And we'll see a exclusion. And now a 30-second timeout called by Salem. So they'll set up their 6-on-5. It's their third power play look. Here's Fenner. Coach Bouillon raving about the way he's helped this team. James Fenner said he's fit into a lot of roles. One of the key guys off the bench. Not going to overwhelm you with the stats, but does other things. Every team has a guy like this that offers those intangibles, plays whatever role the squad needs. As they're into their man-up attack here. 6-on-5 to the post. Trying to give the Bruins some of their own medicine, and they'll get a penalty call as they fired near post looking for Sablich. And they'll call a penalty against UCLA. So Salem will have their second 5-meter attempt. They don't convert there on the power play, but they'll get the chance on the penalty. As Kesich, the conference freshman of the year, he had 5 goals in that win over Concordia in the final. He'll look for his second today. They'll get Tauscher to back up a bit. Back up a little bit more. Here's Kesich. And able to drill that one for his second. Danko Kesich hitting. And Salem now 2 for 2 on the 5-meter. And they trail 13-4. This Salem team, despite the deficit, continues to play hard. Rob Bouillon telling us during the week, a 4-year process for the seniors. They earned every minute of this. A lot of them had options. They could have gone other places, transferred up. So much movement, especially with the extra COVID year. They chose not to do that. They have stood true to Salem. He said there's a small-town vibe, not a lot to do in Salem. That's been a benefit in some ways. You're able to focus on the water polo. And as UCLA answers right away, make it 14-4. Eli Lathy, he's got 2. Second look there. Zivohinovic found his brother Ivan, who was kind of fading there and trying to go up high. Could not convert. And now here's Ben Lathy. Vogenthaler threading the needle, deflected, and stolen away. Duarte Costa takes that one back with 3:17 to play. Coach Bouillon telling about his early days pregame at Salem. 0 wins that first year, 1 the next. That first season, they only had 3 actual water polo players eligible. They had to recruit other athletes. They had baseball players, basketball players, anyone who was available. So that year we played a lot of shallow, deep water polo. Didn't have the strongest swimmers. Had to make sure we had some games where guys wouldn't be required to tread the entire time. A takeaway there. Said one game they were down to just 7 guys. One of the players had an injury, couldn't go underwater. As the Bruins come here in transition, and then a takeaway by Salem. Bouillon said they put him in the shallow end to start the game. He hopped right out. They played man down the entire way. They've come a long way. Bar down on that attempt. Nice look there off the water on the try from Petkovsky. From those 0-win basketball, baseball days now to 20 wins here in the NCAA tourney. WWPA champs. The exclusion, power play for the Bruins. And a timeout called by Adam Wright. Just a 30-second timeout called by the Bruins. UCLA with 4 power play goals thus far, looking for a 5th as they bring some reinforcements in off the bench. Fans, don't forget, we're just getting started here on a busy quarterfinal Friday. We've got Stanford and Princeton up next. And then USC, California Baptist, and we close it out with Fordham and Long Beach State. So some exciting water polo ahead. We'll have it for you here all day long on NCAA.com. See the fans making their way in. I know a lot of Salem fans watching around the world. Same for UCLA. Bruins faithful, they want this to be a full weekend in the Bay Area. Sights set on a championship final on Sunday. They'll be watching the rest of the action closely after they finish here. Power play for the Bruins out of the timeout. Under 2 to play in the third quarter. Chase Dodd now gives off along 2 meters to Ben Lathy. Lathy gets it back. Little bobble there. Good redirect. Out to Chase Dodd now. Ryder Dodd make it happen from the outside. And the Bruins clean it up and put it away. So UCLA, after that initial pass, went in and they couldn't make it work, quickly recirculate that ball and are able to convert for a 15-4 lead. Dodd to Dodd. And the Bruins build. That's the 5th 6-on-5 score. 15-4 UCLA with 1:40 remaining. Off the post on the attempt there by Sablich. And then in the hustle for the rebound, it's a 5-meter called against Tauscher. And Salem will have their third power play. So everyone started to head the other way, but Salem hanging in there and earning the 5-meter, and Marko Zivohinovic has his second. Give him 100 on the year. Second look here. Able to bury that and make it 15-5 with 1:18 to go in the third. Bruins take a look. Sherlock scoots in, gives off to Dodd. Sherlock, a few fakes, tries to go cross cage just off the post for Wade Sherlock, as we fall under 1 minute remaining in our third quarter. Now Fenner in transition. Gives off to Kesic. Kesic tried to find the corner, went wide, near side. And now back to the Bruins. 30 seconds left, third quarter. Chase Dodd. controlling along 2 meters, inching in, and just hammers that one home. Got in too deep, and Chase Dodd has another in this one. Here's Dodd. Again, defender trying to guard against that entry pass, and as we told you throughout the match, Bruins have been wearing out their pass from post to post, their pass inside right at 2 meters, and so defender has to be wondering what's going to happen next. And in the meantime, Dodd just kept pushing in, and was able to deliver. As we mentioned, sat out last year, 39 goals in his sophomore season out of Huntington Beach High School from Long Beach. Shot clock is off now. 22 seconds left here in the third. And now 7-on-6 look here from Salem as Duarte Costa brings it up. Empty net on the other side. Costa moving in. 5 seconds left. They go inside, bouncing ball. It gets away. If they can hustle, it's an empty cage. Tauscher. And they are not going to look for the easy one. They'll just let time expire as we finish 3 quarters here at Stanford. So a 7-on-6 look goes by the boards for Salem. UCLA 8 minutes away from advancing to our semifinal round. We will take a timeout. Fourth quarter is up next when we return live on NCAA.com. Fourth quarter on tap here at Stanford. UCLA leading Salem 16-5. Bruins well on their way to the semifinal round. They'll keep an eye on the rest of our action today. Up next, Stanford and Princeton Cardinal back into the tourney for the first time in a few years. Here as the host, it's a nail-biting bracket reveal for Brian Flax and company as they were earning the final at-large pick. They'll take on Princeton and USC against California Baptist, and all SoCal showdown. And then we'll wrap things up with the hotly anticipated Fordham Long Beach State showdown to close out our evening here. Full day of water polo. Exciting stuff as the NCAA Championship tourney gets underway. Salem now on the attack, and that was a dangerous pass. Makoto Kenny got a piece, but Kesic able to pick it up. Looking inside. And ordinary is the call as they went into Sablich. Now Kesic. Timer to 3. Off the post. So close for Kesic. Had a good look from long range. Just could not hit. And now the Bruins have it. Well, Adam Wright has got to be happy with what has transpired here. Heavy favorites, but you still have to come out and do the job. And his team asserted themselves rapidly in that first quarter. A penalty drawn here on the inside as they went to Castillo. And then Larson early on took complete control of this match. So they'll have their fourth penalty shot try coming up. Here's Dodd. Dodd, you can hear a little piece of that ball from Costa, but not enough as Dodd has his third. Adds another and make it 17-5. He's able to skip that just under Costa. He guessed right. He went to the correct side of the cage, just couldn't get enough. Adam Wright during the week talking so much about defense, but had a great line. We need people to be who they've been. Nothing more, nothing less. That is what he's looking for coming into this tourney weekend. .640 to play, fourth quarter. First ever meeting between these two programs. A 17-5 lead for the Bruins. Save there from Tauscher. Comes right back out to Salem. They can try it again. Zivohinovic, that was field blocked. Carcelade getting a piece there. Look at our goalies for Salem. Silva with 5 stops. He played the first half. Costa's got 1. And the penalty fest continues. A penalty called. The 5th opportunity coming now for UCLA. We saw the nice stop there by Nate Tauscher. He's got 7 saves so far. Garrett Griggs in that first quarter had 3 stops. We've seen both goalies. Griggs, the primary starter for UCLA, is save there. A denial. Dodd gets his own rebound, stuffed again. Dwart thwarting the Olympic bronze medalist. He won't forget that anytime soon. A couple of blocks on Dodd. And then an exclusion. And frustration there as a power play coming for Salem. How about those stops for Dwart Costa? First look, going right, knocks it down, then Dodd gets his own rebound, can't convert, and Salem able to gather that up. Good hustle here from Ryder Dodd, but again off the mark, and he can't believe it. This is a man that has 93 goals on the year, but you have to tip your cap to Dwart Costa. The Salem squad takes a timeout. Robert Bouillon, he grew up with this program. His dad, Dr. Keith Bouillon, sadly passed away in 2016. He was one of the earliest coaches of this team. His son played at Gannon and then took over the Salem program, has helped it reach these heights, but it was under Dr. Keith Bouillon. They went 25-6 back in 2003. Keith said, I'm sure his dad is watching this one with a smile. Salem out of the timeout on the power play. Save is there by Tauscher, denies that Kesic try. So after a couple of big stops on the other end, Salem was trying to convert, couldn't put it home. Rob telling us that Salem was such a draw to his dad because as an academic professor, Salem offered the opportunity to coach and to still teach, and that was really appealing. Inside, and another save from Dwart Costa. And Rob said a lot of credit to the late Lauren Bertacci, longtime water polo referee, but someone that welcomed his dad to Salem with that opportunity to coach and teach. And no surprise that this Salem program has meant so much to the Bouillon family all these years later. Rob telling us that the team training for NCAAs after winning conference, the school cafeteria closed. Said his family stepped up. His wife cooking meals for the team, whatever they needed. Had to make a lot of food for the guys through the Thanksgiving holiday. They were happy to do it. On the post and slam it home. UCLA. And Ben Larson. Make it now 18-5. So Salem, as they possibly feared on the wrong end of this one, 18-5, but strong effort from this team in their NCAA tourney debut. We know everyone back in West Virginia is still super proud of this team. They got a police escort when they got back from the WWPA. To give you an idea, alumni have been reaching out left and right. We mentioned the meals. If you were wondering what were the hit items, and I was, so I asked. Pulled pork, lasagna, cheesy potatoes. Those were some of the hits from the Bouillon family that the players devoured. The exclusion. That'll go against Salem and Kesic. And that's all for Donko Kesic. So his third foul. Actually, correction. Foul there will go against Ivan Zivahinovic. So it's his third foul. He's fouled out. And now Marko Jovanovic, he has fouled out. So a couple of exclusions there. So Salem running a little thin here as Ivan Zivahinovic, now Marko Jovanovic, they have both fouled out. Of course, Nikola Krstanisic, he had the game exclusion. So his day ended a little while back as UCLA adds another. 19th on the day from number 19. And 19-5 with 3:14 to play. Salem now working through Marko Zivahinovic. Out on the perimeter. Quick strike attempt and rattles off the cage on that attack from the outside from Ivan Petkovsky. But then in transition, offensive foul, Dodd colliding. Looking here again, moving through traffic and triple teamed. And then a takeaway. Frustration and a little dialogue with the officials that was unwelcome, so a minor act of misconduct called against Salem. That'll go against Kesic. So he will be able to return, but he was looking for a foul call, didn't get one, and let the referee know about it. In the meantime, Carson able to convert. The junior from Long Beach. So 20-5 with 2:34 to play. Reminder coming up at around 2 p.m. local time, Stanford and Princeton in our next quarterfinal match. Everything right here, live and on demand at ncaa.com. We'll have it for you again tomorrow. And then the final on Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific, live on ESPNU, streaming on ESPN+. Sablich now controls as Salem moves into the front court with 2:22 to play in the fourth. Zivahinovic, now Sablich. Bring it back near side, now along 2 meters. Mitchell Griffith has come on, and he is immediately stopped by Tauscher. Griffith, the junior from Napoleon High School in Ohio, getting an opportunity here. Just an ordinary called. Carcelade. Sherlock, he's been eyeing that cross-cage look from the lefty side and is able to make it happen this time around. Out of Orange Lutheran in Orange County. (21-5) with 1:42 to play. Sablich now. The exclusion. That's against Sherlock. And from the outside, score at one time for Antonio Sablich. on the 6-on-5. The sophomore from Croatia. They look to him as a defensive anchor, but he shows off the offense here with his 20th goal on the season. Make it 21-6. Under 90 seconds left in the match. Kenny, now Carcelade. Shot clock to 9. They go inside and quick turn and fire. That's Eli Lathy. Bruins have spread the wealth on offense. Ryder Dodd and Jack Larson, 4 goals apiece. 3 for Eli Lathy and Peter Castillo. Carcelade has been the facilitator, 5 assists. Shot clock to 8, and that one's taken away. Aiming for that 3-meter area and just could not get it through to Connor McAllister, the freshman from Denton, Texas, who just checked in. Carcelade now. Told you about the guys that didn't make the UCLA travel roster right there. Tough choices for the coaches. Noah Rowe, Bodie Brinkema. Same story for Salem. Misha Holtzkamp, Matt Romero. In the house today watching, but unable to make that last cut. Tough choices across the board. I'll give them a shout out here as this one winds to a close. And that'll do it. UCLA doing the job here. They'll advance to the semifinals 22-6. They improved to 24-2 on the year, and this history-making season for Salem ends here in the Bay Area. They finished 20-4. But an epic run to the NCAA tourney for the first time for Salem University, but it's all Bruins. A dominant effort on offense and defense between Garrett Griggs and Nate Tauscher. And as we told you, that balanced offensive attack with Larson and Ryder Dodd, 4 goals apiece for Salem. Danko Kesic and Marko Zivohinovic, 2 goals apiece. Gonzalo Silva and Duarte Costa, split time McCage. Costa with some pretty stops in that second half. Let's take a look at our updated bracket. UCLA moves ahead to the semifinals. They'll await the winner of Stanford and Princeton. That's our next match. Then later on, USC, California Baptist, Fordham, and Long Beach State. We will step aside for now, but we're coming back at around 2 p.m. Pacific time with Stanford and Princeton. The home team Cardinal into the water against the champs from the Northeast. That'll do it for us here in this one. Again, your final score, UCLA able to take this victory in decisive fashion, 22-6 for our entire crew. Greg Meskel saying thanks for joining us. Make sure you stay close. Come back to us on NCAA.com coming up in about 40 minutes. We'll talk to you soon from Stanford.